This is GWReborn. Today I'm going to be doing a full video explaining a technique that I've tried in the past for fun, the hero build team Elementalistway. And I'm going to go ahead and run through everything with you. Before that, I just want to say thank you all for watching. Consider subscribing for a lot of Guild Wars content to come. And I hope you enjoy this kind of content. I went ahead and put a link in the description for all the information that you need to know about the build templates, the gear required, the runes, as well as any other information you're going to want to know about the Elementalistway team. So I'm using a monk for this. Any profession can do this. Probably most optimal if you're an elementalist because it is an Elementalistway style team. And unfortunately, you can't carry 6 or 7 elementalist heroes unless you were to run mercenaries. I don't personally have mercenaries, so I'm going to show you 3 elementalists, and then I have a heal support and another heal support with Bip to explain, and then the other 2 options after that as well. So let's go ahead and get going to it. Appreciate y'all putting a like up if you haven't already, and I hope y'all enjoy my videos. Definitely recommend checking out the playlist. I made a previous video as well called the Mesmer Way. I put that in the description too. Would recommend checking it out if you want to learn how to play Mesmer Way hero build setup as well. So this case scenario with heroes is going to require 3 elementalists, obviously, as I mentioned earlier. The key focus on this is 1 will be earth, 1 will be air, and 1 will be fire. Of course, this isn't going to be the most optimal suggested builds, but it is a pretty good option and opportunity to try Elementalistway using these 3 builds. And then also I'm using a soul twisting Ritualist spirit support hero, as well as a Necro Ritualist for heal support, on top of using Blood is Power, which is the BIP Necro, for energy management. And on top of that, with the scheme setup I have, every single hero I have is going to be using Aura Restoration, followed by Earth, Air, or Fire, Attunement for energy management, as well as I like to pile up a special damage dealing elite for each of the heroes for Earth, Air, and Fire. And I like to focus on either Paragon or Ritualist secondary profession personally when I use this kind of style, because I feel like the Paragons offer good shouts with party bonuses, and Ritualist is just for a quick flesh of my flesh res skill. And most critical thing about this is to make sure you have your heroes runed as well. So I'll go ahead and run you through those. I'm running a 40-40 Earth set, a 40-40 Air set, 40-40 Fire set. So what 40-40 means is you have 20% of half casting, 20% of the recharge time for the wand, and then 20-20 for the offhand. That's why it means 40-40. Ritualist is just a standard high energy staff using 20% enchantment, and for the Necro BIP I am using Restoration 40-40 set. All this is in the information in the description. There's so much I'm talking about at once. And if anybody wants to load the templates, just go to template code here and you're able to actually hit load template, and you can load the templates that I put in the description. They'll make it easier for you. Hopefully I taught somebody something there. So you see I only have 5 heroes, and of course this is an 8-party team. Going to be trying it at Breaker Hollow for this build test as well. I'm going to go ahead and say 2 options. 1, add 2 extra heroes. I'm personally going to stick with Elementalistway all the way. I'm going to take 2 more Elementalists with me. Another option would be if you only have 1 Elementalist henchman, then you could add an extra heal support or damage support like Mesmer on top of what you already have if you want to do with just the standard 3 Elementalist, heal support, soul twisting writ, 1 extra henchman, and then the last one would be another hero spot where I would add in either another Necro or Mesmer. For example, I might consider doing a Energy Surge Mesmer, but I'm wanting to focus this video on Elementalistway all the way. So I'm going to be taking 2 Elementalists. I put that in the description as well, either depending on your area, either take 1 Elementalist or 2 for the Henchman side. You could also gear towards, I was going to modify the video and add in that you could put a Mesmer Elementalist or a Necro Elementalist secondary, and then you could modify those skills. I kind of did that scheme with the Mesmer Way previous video, and I didn't see a lot of good feedback on that. Recommended that you go all the way with the profession for the primary profession for only that focus, because for some reason going secondary you don't get as much win out of it, especially Elementalist with a heavy energy strain. So Necro Elementalist would be what I would choose if I didn't want to run heroes. Why? Because they have not soul twisting, sorry. They have the soul reaping, which would be an energy benefit. So I would use Necro/Elementalist instead of 2 henchmen. Not going to go into that. Don't worry about my build. It's just an ROJ, Ray of Judgment, AoE, PvE damage template. And if anybody wants that, you can go ahead and type that in. I'm not going to put that in the description. And I'm the Reborn Monk. Definitely recommend messaging me for any kind of Guild Wars content you ever have questions for, as well as check out the details in the description to join my Discord. And if you want to join my guild, legit, we always recruiting players. We have 20 guilds, 10 Lux, and 10 Kurzik. Anyway, enough of that information. I'm sure y'all are ready to see this thing get in action. If y'all have anything I missed, it should be in the description as well. I appreciate y'all hitting the like button if you haven't already. We're going to get this thing going with some action. Before that, one other thing I forgot to mention was the runes. You want to make sure you have Earth +1 Primary +1, Earth, Air, Fire for each. Make sure that's per profession's proper. And then you're going to follow on after that with a Superior Vigor or a Major in my case. I don't want to spend that extra 90 Platinum for the Vigors. And then I have +1 Energy and then 2 Vitaes. All of this is in the description. And I do that same thing for all 3 Elementalists. So primary, either +1 or +3. I personally like to run additional energy and health over sacrificial for extra damage because I like to have that extra health boost, especially when I'm going to be more on the physical side with casting damage over the support side. And for the Ritualist, it's just +3 Communing, +2 Spawning, Vigor, and 2 Vitaes. And then for the BIP Necro, +3 Blood, all tormented, and then soul twisting +2. So high energy or high health loss on the BIP, as you can see, 431, and the same with the Rit, while the Elementalist have high health, since they're going to be up front. And make sure you have your Elementalist on fight, and your Ritualist on guard, and the BIP on avoid. That's how I set it up. If there's something I'm making an error on, feel free to comment and let me know in the description on the comment section. There's always people wanting to learn new ways. I'm also trying to learn new ways. And I'm just doing Guild Wars content for y'all to enjoy. So yes, hit that like button. I hope you're enjoying the content so far. And definitely check out the playlist in the description for all the hero build playlists I've done. I think I've posted 10 or 11 so far, and I got more to come. My goal is to have at least a per profession different types of builds for the whole team. So I would have one for Mesmer already posted. This is the second one with Elementalist. And down the road, I'll be getting every other profession from Monk Way, Warrior Way, Dervish Way, pretty much any way you could think of with different professions. So, and of course, this is just a fun opportunity to try something. It's not going to be the most optimal to do PvP with every area with all Elementalists, but it is fun and exciting, and I'm glad to share it with y'all. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this on Guild Wars Wiki or a YouTube video before, so definitely recommend trying it out. Something fun and different. And if y'all have ever any questions, just reach out in game. I'm the Reborn Monk, or comment, and we'll be glad to help. So far it looks like it's really heavy damage. It's doing really good so far. I definitely like having that extra 2 Elementalists as henchmen over adding in the 2 heroes I was talking about earlier, just because I feel like it makes the feel of all Elementalistway more healthy and focusing on the Elementalist skills over adding something else. You're probably going to be more beneficial if you're going to be playing Elementalistway all the way through all the areas. You're going to have to adjust depending on the area and take some Mesmers or Necromancers or a Minion Master or some melee or a tank, depending on the area you're battling throughout PvE, your Vanquishes, your missions, and everywhere, or your solos to be able to get the most optimal performance. You'll have to learn that as you go. But this video is more for entertainment and for y'all to try something new and see something new that's available for y'all to check out. So hope y'all enjoying the video so far. Consider subscribing. I got a lot of Guild Wars content to come, and I've got already hundreds of videos for y'all to check out on the channel. I recommend y'all checking out. It's doing really well. It is definitely a little bit slower killing pace than the Mesmer way that I previously made a video of. I put in the description as well. I could tell the Elementalists are not doing as strong a damage as a Mesmer is, but that's because Mesmers for some reason are more overpowered. They're considered OP in today of 2023 Guild Wars. And welcome to Guild Wars 2023 video. This video is coming out. Guild Wars is over 16 years old now, hitting somewhere around there, and definitely still a live and active game. A lot of players I see around 350 to 450 players a day, depending on the day of the week or the period seasonality. In my 20 guilds I manage Legit Alliance. So a lot of players still playing Guild Wars today. So I highly recommend coming back if you haven't already decided and you're thinking about you don't want to play solo. There's a lot of players doing the same thing that you want to do when you join back in. From dungeons, speed clears, PvE, casual, PvP, anything you can think of, there's always other players doing it. It's not as active as it was back in 2006 or 2009 period when Guild Wars first ramped up, but it's still worth playing and definitely coming back to see the community is still alive and well. Just not as it was. I really like the forward front damage that the Elementalist team offers between the earth, fire, and the air. Because what happens is the fire can burn and do instant damage, the earth can slow them down, knock them down, weaken them, and then the air does the same thing pretty much both ends, except it kind of works its way together. There's other variations of this build I'm sure you could do, like 3 fire elementalist or 3 of any of the primary professions, or even a water damage elementalist. There's going to be some people asking about, but I like to do the 1 of each primary, and of course I didn't have 4 elementalists because I didn't want to run a hero with secondary elementalist. As Ellie, then I would be running that as a water damage to make that my primary 4th. But if you're running mercenary heroes, man, you can go right at it. Go ahead and take the extra 2 elementalist heroes in place of that. So, anyway, I'm going to leave the video at that. Looking forward to y'all's suggestions in the comment section. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comment section as well. Check out the description for all the information about the builds and what's required, as well as other videos I've made on hero builds. Recommend checking out that playlist for all other hero builds I've made. And stay tuned for more Guild Wars videos by subscribing. And have fun in Guild Wars 2023 onward. See ya.